I gotta be thankful because I know someone lost their life today. And so every moment I endeavor to live life the righteous way, to serve with a sense of purpose and let love light the way.
This is Omscorpius or Gabrielle here again with you for your Sunday reading. Thank you for tuning in. I want to say thank you before beginning to everyone who's supporting, liking, watching, and sharing my videos. I really do appreciate it. And the announcements for this Sunday, I have YouTube up and running. With YouTube strictly, I'll be making pick-a-cards. These are interactive pick-a-card videos with tarot readings. They'll be surrounding questions like messages from spirit guides, maybe some adult plus messages from your lover. I got some erotic tarot cards, they're awesome. So I'm really excited to play with those. And messages from the dead was something that I really like to do. So it's going to be exciting. The pick-a-cards are specifically for YouTube. The daily tarots and the monthly tarots will be posted on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So that's pretty exciting for me. I'm really excited to do this, and I appreciate you being with me all along the way.
Never believe in lack of limitations.
So for our Sunday, the color I picked is like this light turquoise color. You can barely see it.
I appreciate my breath.
But the red video that I made, you couldn't really see it when I looked back. Like, I love the red so much, I just dealt with it. So I appreciate everyone, or anybody, everyone who watched that video and was like, I can't see nothing. Thank you. Because I was just like, the red. So we're gonna have to work on tinkering with that so you can actually see the cards. You could see me, but you couldn't see the cards. So that's that. Any other announcements? Not really. Please like and subscribe, support me, and I appreciate it, so we can do more of these and have more fun with these picker cards. I've got so many ideas that I want to do with the YouTube, specifically pertaining to tarot, and maybe like some book reviews, because I've been reading some interesting things that have definitely been helping me evolve in a positive way. So that is all for the announcements. Now we're going to move on to our Black Flame for Sunday. It's very heavy. Heavy change is on the way with the Tower card appearing. With the Tower, I can tell you that it comes with very fast moving energy that will shift your life in a way that it won't be returning back to the way it was before. Sorry to say. Change is repeating, and I feel like change has definitely been like the big message in the month of April. I mean, the overall card for the month of April was that Hermit energy, which is going within and kind of doing like a system update of any clutter, any patterns of behavior. And I think with that Hermit card, it was dealing with emotional, unaddressed grievances emotionally that are triggering mental pattern thoughts, and then you're constantly going over these thoughts over and over again and kind of lowering your vibration every time that you do it. But because it has a emotional attachment, it's almost like a bruise. Mental scars are harder to detect and easy to fly under the radar, but when it's attached to an emotional wound, you feel that, and it feels real. So it just makes it more challenging, not impossible, to deal with. So with that, and the Death card, which was one that also came out, I feel like right now is really going within as you go through these changes, these shifts, and these endings are for your own good. I mean, every ending is really to bring about a new beginning that is necessary for you, and it's really hard to let go sometimes, especially if it's something that you're comfortable with, and then embarking on a new journey can be very scary. And it is okay to feel that way, but it's not okay to either sit still or not make a decision, or continue to go back to a door that has closed, because it won't work the way that you would want it to work in your mind, because it is over. When the Reaper comes, he comes and there's no getting back what is dead now. So it's like pining over a dead body. Not to be really morbid and weird, but with the Tower, it is quick moving energy, a lot more quicker than the Death card. I would say that it could also mean that there is a very fast moving energy that is going to require you to make a decision coming. It is at the door. It is here. And this choice with the Tower are choices that are going to change your life forever. So it really makes it hard because it's almost unexpected with the Tower card. I feel like the Tower always comes up when you least expect it in the most inconvenient times in your life. And with that comes, like, at least for me, the anxiety of making a quick choice. Is it the right one? Have I looked at every nook and cranny to make sure that this is the right choice for me? So all of that's going to be playing into the Tower card. The Tower card stresses me out, to be honest. Like, it does. I appreciate the change. I do. Thank you. But damn, if you don't stress me out. So I hope with the following cards that we'll have some more details on how to handle the energy of the Tower card. Like I said, this change, this shift, it's going to feel risky. It's going to be probably some things that you've put off. And it could also be a change that you need to make. When the Tower comes up, it is reminding you this is a change you need to make. It needs to be done. And if the more that you resist that change, the more destruction you will experience. Because you're trying to hold on to something that is trying to leave. And like I like to say, when spirit wants something done, it will do whatever it takes to make sure that that something is done, for better or for worse. So that is our first card to start off the reading. We're going to move on to our Daemon Goetia. I always get the name wrong on these. I just like saying Daemon. So we're going to go ahead and shuffle these. And oh, something almost wanted to come out. All right. Give us some more insight on Sunday's reading. Advice with this Tower energy of making risky choices at unexpected times. Oh, there we go. Oh, okay. Well, we're going to go with that first one. I just like picked up those cards and extra cards just fell out. I'm like,
that's suspicious. That's weird.
We're not doing 3, 4, 5 cards today, Daemons. Thank you. So the Daemon card that came out is very pretty. It is, oh Lord, that name. FURFUR? FURFUR. The 34th Daemon of the Goetia. It is represented as the Page of Wands. So this is emotional movement that is happening. And I'm going to it is the element of water and 8. So this zodiac and planetary symbol I am definitely going to have to look up. All right, so I found that planet and the zodiac for FURFUR, and it is, the planet is Mars of all things. Look at that card. There's a lot going on. It looks kind of crazy. It looks kind of warpathy. And Virgo is the planet of FURFUR. FURFUR's meaning is emotional learning. Okay, Page of Cups and emotional peaks. So with that paired up with that planet of Mars and the zodiac of Virgo, I feel like with Mars and Virgo, there's like a bit of conflict as far as Mars being the planet of war and Virgo kind of being a communicative. I would associate Virgo with a very communicative energy, friendship. And so I feel like the Page of Cups may be addressing some of your own emotional learnings and emotional peaks that you experience through communications with others. And so I guess moving through those emotional pains and peaks that are flowing as you make a connection with others, and dealing with other people's emotional peaks and emotional learning as well. I mean, not everybody has emotional intelligence as well as you may have it, or the next person. And emotional intelligence is very heavy, I'm sensing, with this card, and paired up with Virgo, with the Mars of all things. So I feel like right now you're going to be kind of going through people testing you on an emotional level. And like I said, it's emotions with that triggering. You can really feel that. It's hard to not control yourself emotionally sometimes when it actually has an emotional pain. And that's why its nature is emotional peaks. So these are things people are probably going to be triggering you where it hurts the most. And I really think you have to hone in on that Virgo energy to try to learn through those triggers, learn through that communication, and how you were triggered and how you can best resolve this emotional conflict without causing more devastation. Because of the presence of Mars, I really do think that this is going to be a period where people are going to be testing you. And I'm starting to feel like with it coming next to the Tower, I feel like the Tower might have something to do with that Mars energy and it just kind of being chaotic around you. Now, the Tower card does not last forever. My baby's fighting to go to sleep. Sorry if you hear a little squealing in the background. So, with that Mars energy, I really feel like the Mars energy is definitely emphasized in the Tower. And this is the source of some of that conflict that you will encounter with these emotional peaks and that Mars energy. I feel like with the Page of Cups with FURFUR, Demon FURFUR, he is going to assist you with movement on an emotional level through that Mars energy of emotional conflict that is going to make it a little bit clogged in that energetic exchange with others who are at emotional peaks where you are being triggered at your emotional peak. And this emotional learning that he brings to assist you will help you better move through the chaos. Let me take another look at the card. I can't even tell where he is in here. There's a thunderstorm in the background. There's cups dangling from him, I think. They're tied to his reindeer. I think this is a reindeer. Yeah, I was getting too caught up with the wings in the background, and I'm like, what is that riding the reindeer? No, I think FURFUR is a reindeer. So, be the Page of Cups through emotional conflicts that are going to arise with this Tower energy. And I want to say, like, the Tower energy is not going to stay forever. So this may be a temporary bout of conflict on an emotional level with your connections with others that will pass. Now, I think based off of your emotional learning through your emotional triggers will tell how well you are learning from lessons and making better opportunities. So this is a challenging time. I feel like there is a sense of war on an emotional level where you are being asked to move more swiftly and smarter through avoiding conflict as best as you can, or to move through the conflict as best as you can. So that's very interesting that that appeared with the Mars energy of FURFUR. So we're going to move on to our embroidered graveyard. Yeah, I definitely feel this is a high Mars energy conflict. It's crazy that that came up with the Tower card. So we're going to ask the embroidered graveyard for some further oracle assistance during this kind of emotional time, emotional movement, emotional learning with FURFUR. Father. Father definitely wanted to come out, so let's go ahead and see what Father has to say. This is interesting. I definitely got this card last time for like my own personal use, and I never looked it up, so I'll be learning about this card with you. I mean, I've got this whole deck to learn from because it's new. I love this deck. Oh, so beautiful. Okay, hold on. All right, so I did read a little bit of the description with the Father, and I do have the book out with me, so the kind of sense that I'm getting from the Father card is definitely representing a fatherly spirit that comes through to be with you now. This could be a living or past, male or female. The vibe that they give off is one of a protector and a provider. They are looking at the situation and providing what is needed. They solve dilemmas quickly and efficiently. So with this card, the archetype of Father is the provider and the doer. He definitely represents hard work, action, grit, and determination. So it says something very specific here that was interesting. He does the internal work, and after doing and healing for himself, he projects that healing and caring onto others in the world with strength and confidence. So I really feel like this is the answer to our Tower and Mars energy of FURFUR, with working through things emotionally with others. Now, you may be coming up with emotional learning, because that's what FURFUR was referring to. That emotional learning could very well be emotional lessons that you have gone through that you will encounter in other people at their emotional peaks. So it's a lesson for them, but it's an opportunity for you to kind of bring out that fatherly energy and assess the situation instead of making it blow up into more of a chaotic situation. Now Mars energy is around you, Tower energy is around you. So this is going to pose a challenge to your focus through connection with people, and instead of getting triggered. And now if it's a lesson that you've learned, you shouldn't necessarily get triggered. But FURFUR did bring in emotional peaks. So I'm thinking that and with the Mars, I'm thinking that people will hit you where it hurts on an emotional level. And as soon as you notice it, evaluate that before reacting in a destructive way just because of that Mars energy mixed in with the Tower card. I feel like there's a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of chaos and fighting and disagreement on an emotional level. But you really have to move through it. And I feel like the Father card is coming out saying that you can move through it. You can apply the emotional learnings from your past in assisting others, guiding them through their emotional peaks, their emotional triggers that they have not gone through yet, or still, it's a never-ending process, really. I feel like sometimes with emotional triggers, when you think you have it cleared up, you get triggered again, and it's like, oh, okay, I guess it hasn't healed yet. So we are all wounded warriors, wounded shamans, and some of the best shamans in the world have been most wounded the most. They've come from really hard lives, and then they come through that chaos helping others through their hard lives, through situations worse than theirs in some cases. So the Father archetype is great at looking at the situation and providing what is needed. Provide only what is needed. So like I said, again, with that Mars energy, you don't want to add fire to fire, creating more destruction. And I feel like the Father will help you assist in that. If you have a strong father figure that is a hard worker who represents strength and confidence with you, that is really good at pinpointing what needs to be done and getting it done, I would definitely channel in that energy when you are emotionally triggered by somebody else who is clearly in a lesson phase. Karma is not what we do. I mean, what is it? What's the quote? Karma is not what others do to us, it's how we respond to them. So how we react is ultimately our karma. So that's very interesting. We have the grit, the force, and the hustle. Inside of you exists every archetype, regardless of your gender. Ooh, I like that, and that is true. So tap into this strong, caring father figure who is looking at a situation and provides exactly what is needed to remedy that situation as for the best possible outcome. So thank you, Embroidered Graveyard, for bringing out this divine masculine energy. I want to say very divine masculine energy. This would be the father that we always wanted if we don't have that divine masculine in our own fathers. Even though you may not have that example in your life, like it says, archetypes are in our psyche, regardless of your situation, your gender, your location, your circumstance. That is the power of your mind. Tap into that archetype, the divine father, that divine masculine, and use that to assist in emotional learning with others during this Mars energy. So that is our beautiful embroidered graveyard. So we're going to move on. We're moving fast. To our moon cards. And now my fifth card is actually going to be from my favorite deck, so I can't wait to get to that. But our moon oracle for Sunday, with all of this chaotic tower father energy. You saw that one. Show the world the real you. Full moon in Aquarius. Full moon in Aquarius. That's very interesting. So I feel like Aquarius can assist in its attributes with your communications and clearing up the disruption within yourself before you even connect. I feel like the chaos and the trauma and the Mars energy, the fighting, is not where you want to be. It's not who you really are. And so you really have to tap into your divinity, your highest of self, to help assist those shadows that may come up during chaotic times. Those are the times, like I like to say, we're in shadow time. That's when people are not actively controlling their shadow and just letting it run amok. And a shadow is just hurt parts of yourself that you disregard or suppressed parts of yourself. So you really want to integrate that. You don't want to suppress it. And your highest divine self is aware of this. So it's not about casting away that knee-jerk reaction to fight back, because if you have an emotional hurt, if someone's poking you where you have been shot or stabbed in the back or whatever, that pain is validated. Your pain is validated. Your shadow is validated in every way. But fighting fire with fire doesn't solve anything. And that's where we get to the highest self and integrating that lower self, that pain, into your highest self and becoming whole, so that you can see the whole of the circumstance, so you can see the highest good of the chaos, the best option to make a smoother outcome. So it's going to be challenging. I definitely feel a lot of challenging energy with the Tower card coming off really strong, paired up with FURFUR for sure. But I feel like the Aquarius in this full moon with Father will help assist you to move through that chaos a little bit more smoother. So, and it is the full moon, so we all know how the full moon happens to react. And I feel like this can also tie into the Mars energy as well, with that very high emotional peak from FURFUR. So it's going to be very emotionally charged, and it's going to be a little bit chaotic out there. So really channel your divine feminine and divine masculine to get the stuff done. And I feel like the reason why it was more the divine masculine is because this is an divine masculine energy is an action-oriented card. It's about doing. It's no longer about feeling. It's about applying what you know. So apply what you know from the trials and tribulations you have gone through as far as your own trauma and triggers. And when you meet somebody who is clearly traumatized and triggered, address it in a way that's going to create the best possible outcome, as the Divine Father would do for you. So that was our beautiful moon oracle. Show the world the true you, full moon in Aquarius. Now to the 5th card. I'm going to use my Mother of Gaia. Only the major arcana. These are my favorite cards. One of my favorites. I love them so much. But we're going to pull from the major arcana and see what the Mother of Gaia has to say for us. I haven't used these in a while, and I miss them. So I thought I'd ask of their advice. I kind of shuffle these a little bit differently. But they're so pretty. And I really feel like if anyone has an answer for going through Mars energy and emotional conflict where there is emotional pain and triggers, no better than the Mother of Gaia to do that. And one fell out, but it kind of seemed like, okay, ooh, that sounds better. Oh my God. And the card that fell out on the floor, that was more direct, is Faith. Oh, I love these cards so much. The artist is beautiful. She makes so many awesome cards, but Faith has came out. What can be said about this beautiful card? Really have faith in your highest good, even when times are chaotic and dark and scary and risky and causing you anxiety, anger. People are triggering you and poking at you. And you really just have to have faith that you not reacting to your lowest self is the best thing for your complete self. You integrating the pain that is triggered from your lower self by somebody else, understanding that that's nothing to shade away, that's actually, that pain is telling you something about a healing, an emotional learning that needs to be done within yourself so that you can stop bleeding on other people when we're hurt and still traumatized, which we live in a very traumatizing world. I feel like everybody is a shaman. They just don't know it. And they don't have always the tools in that knowing to develop further. And so they succumb to their traumas, their pains tend to rule over them. But have faith in that all of this has a divine plan. Have faith and understanding that your pain, your traumas, and your triggers are divinely guided and they have a purpose, and you just have to really take action and understand what the purpose of these things are. What is it trying to teach you so that you may learn from your own emotional pain and teach others, not even with purposely doing it, just effortlessly by your doing it yourself. Because I'm telling you now, if the Mars energy is out and people are going out of their way to emotionally attack you where there are triggers, you're really going to have to tap into that divine self. And, kindness is definitely a lifestyle. But again, I repeat to you, the trigger and the pain that you feel is validated. It's what you do with it that matters the most. Attacking fire with fire is not the answer. You need to address your wound and mend it within yourself before you bleed all over other people. So we've all been guilty of doing that from time to time. It does happen. We are human. We're here learning how to be human in this world where we're born in trauma, pain, and a fractured reality where we're fighting against light and darkness when it's all the same. It's all within us, fighting amongst each other when they are us. I am you, and what I see is me. And that is the divine highest self that sees the whole picture and the unity of all things. But not everyone sees that. So what do you choose to do? Now, the second card that fell out was thought. Very pretty. Thought. Thought, when you change the way you think about things, the things you look at change. And I feel like we really need to change the way we look at ourselves and the world in order to get out of chaos, destruction. Just because you're meeting somebody who was traumatized and triggered and in a pain state and they want to bleed all over you, that's okay. That's their experience right now. That doesn't hurt you. That is their karma, not yours. And karma is not like some cosmic lesson to punish people. Karma is just lessons and experiences that aren't forever. It's not what people think it is. A person can make a mistake today and learn from it and do better tomorrow. That's what karma is. That's the point of karma, not to keep somebody in a perpetual state of dissension, because that is no different than somebody trying to stay in a perpetual state of ascension, always trying to get to the highest point and never wanting to fall. Well, guess what? The phoenix has to die sometimes, and as do you. And it's all part of the divine process. You have to have faith in that your soul knows exactly what it's doing before you even know, because you're born in a world that doesn't teach you these things. You have to seek them out. So if you are at this video, you are hearing this video because you need to hear it. Have faith and apply it to your thought so that you can change the way you see the world, yourself, and others, and better lubricate that communication. So that was awesome. I knew these cards would not let me down. I really love these cards a lot. They've helped me through a lot, and it's good to share them with you. So, and there was a third one that came out, and I just flipped it, just being nosy. I wasn't going to do it until I flipped it.
That's suspicious.
Healing. So, healing. I don't even know what to say. These are our cards. Healing, faith, and thought. So we are emotionally learning through our emotional peaks with Mars energy. Tell me if that's not a challenge or not. Like, what? It's all about the healing. No matter how hard or challenging it is, a challenge doesn't mean that you can't do it. It just might take a little longer. You might get hit a few times. You might fall down a few times. Just keep getting up, keep moving forward, and keep faith in that higher purpose on why you keep getting up. Why do you keep getting up? Why would you lay down? Why would you stop? Because the soul never ends. So you should never end. You should never stop. It's against your nature to stop. To stop is to say, okay, I'm done. I'm going to die now. Don't do that. Your divinity is so much needed. And I feel like we really need the gods of this world to wake up and start healing themselves so we can heal each other. Instead of just letting our lower selves, our shadow selves run amok without any guidance of their own light selves to help alleviate that pain. What people don't understand, those in the shadow self, the repressed self, these are pains that need love. And it could possibly use your conscious light attention as well. And maybe if you communicate with your light and darkness, you can figure out what is going on. What is going on internally, so that I can better understand what is going on externally with these other people who were doing the same thing I'm doing. They're just not taking the initiative to change their thought process about how the world works, how they work, and what all of this means. So that's awesome. I'm so happy I flipped that card over, because I was like, we're not doing 3 full cards. But we did do 3 cards of Gaia, and I'm so happy that we did. So our overall message is emotional learning through your emotional peaks, and emotions are going to be running very high. But remember, tap into that divine Father energy to help assist you, so that you know exactly what to apply in a situation that is testing you on your emotional trauma points. You know, it's Mars energy. People will be testing you, but it's a test. It's a test. If you fail a couple of times, that's okay. As long as you know what's happened, where you failed at, what questions you got wrong, where'd you go wrong. You can always make another decision. No, nothing is permanent. You can always rise again, shift again, change again, because that's what we're here. A spiritual being having a human experience. So I hope that really helped you today. Channel that divine masculine energy of the Father. Apply what is needed. Don't add any extra fire to it, because that's only going to result in more destruction. And this is our healing. Namaste.